Imagine standing on the deck of a research ship in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Around you, the sea looks calm and endless. The waves gently rise and fall beneath the sunlight, giving no hint of what lies below. Now, imagine looking straight down. Not a few hundred meters, not 1 kilometer, not even 5 kilometers. Imagine looking down nearly 11 kilometers into complete darkness. Beneath your feet lies the Mariana Trench, the deepest known place on Earth. It is so deep that if Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on our planet, were placed inside it, the mountain's summit would still remain more than a mile below the ocean's surface. This is a world where sunlight has never existed, a world where temperatures hover just above freezing, a world where the pressure is so extreme that it could crush an ordinary submarine in an instant. And yet, life exists here. Strange creatures with transparent bodies, animals that glow in the darkness, and ecosystems unlike anything found anywhere else on Earth. Scientists believe that the Mariana Trench may still hold countless undiscovered species waiting in the darkness. So what really exists at the bottom of the deepest ocean on Earth? To answer that question, we first need to begin an extraordinary journey, from the bright surface of the Pacific Ocean to the darkest place our planet has to offer. Where is the Mariana Trench? The Mariana Trench lies in the western Pacific Ocean, east of the Philippines and south of Japan. It stretches for nearly 2,550 kilometers, making it longer than the distance from New York to Miami. This enormous trench was formed millions of years ago when one tectonic plate slowly began sliding beneath another. This geological process, known as subduction, created a massive scar across Earth's crust. At its deepest point lies Challenger Deep, reaching almost 11,000 meters below sea level. To put that into perspective, commercial airplanes fly at around the same altitude above Earth as Challenger Deep lies below the ocean's surface. If you could somehow stand at the bottom and look upward, the water above you would be almost impossible to imagine. It would feel like an endless liquid sky. Why is the ocean so difficult to explore? Most people assume that exploring the ocean is easier than exploring space. After all, it's right here on Earth. But the truth is exactly the opposite. Space may be cold and empty, but the deep ocean combines total darkness with crushing pressure. Every 10 meters you descend underwater, the pressure increases. By the time scientists reach Challenger Deep, every square inch of a submarine experiences forces powerful enough to destroy normal steel. That's why only a handful of human beings have ever reached the deepest point of the Mariana Trench. In fact, more people have walked on the moon than have visited Challenger Deep. Even today, much of the trench remains completely unexplored. The descent begins. Imagine climbing into a deep-sea submersible. The hatch closes. The support ship disappears above you. Slowly, the journey begins. At first, sunlight fills the water around you. Schools of colorful fish swim past the windows. Coral reefs stretch across the seafloor. Everything feels alive. But that doesn't last for long. Within minutes, the light begins to fade. The blue water becomes darker. The temperature drops. The familiar world slowly disappears behind you. Soon, you enter a place that humans rarely see. The Twilight Zone? The Twilight Zone between 200 and 1,000 meters below the surface lies the Mesopelagic Zone, often called the Twilight Zone. Very little sunlight reaches this depth. Plants can no longer survive because there isn't enough light for photosynthesis. Yet, life continues. Here, scientists encounter creatures unlike those found near the surface. Some fish have enormous eyes designed to capture the tiniest amount of light. Others produce their own light, using a remarkable ability called bioluminescence. Tiny flashes of blue and green appear in every direction. Some animals use these glowing lights to attract prey. Others use them to find mates. Some simply use them to confuse predators before escaping into the darkness. It looks less like Earth's ocean, and more like a galaxy filled with living stars. As the submersible continues downward, even these lights begin to disappear. Ahead lies complete darkness, a darkness so deep that no sunrise has ever reached it. This is where the real journey begins. As the last traces of sunlight disappear behind the submersible, something changes. The ocean no longer feels like water, it feels like another world. Outside the small window, there is nothing but endless blackness. No sunrise, no moonlight, no horizon, only silence. This is the midnight zone, one of the most mysterious environments on Earth. The pressure continues to rise with every meter of descent. The temperature drops to just above freezing. If the lights on the submersible were switched off, you wouldn't even be able to see your own hand. For millions of years, this world has remained almost untouched by humans. And yet, it is far from empty. A forest of living lights. Suddenly, a tiny blue flash appears, then another and another. Within moments, the darkness comes alive. Scientists call this phenomenon bioluminescence, the ability of living organisms to produce their own light through chemical reactions inside their bodies. Nearly every direction is filled with glowing creatures. Some flash like camera bulbs, others pulse with green or blue light. A few leave glowing trails behind them as they swim. To us, it looks beautiful. To them, it's a matter of survival. Some species use light to lure prey closer. Others use it to scare away predators. Some even create fake glowing body parts so attackers bite the wrong place, giving them enough time to escape. It's nature's own light show in complete darkness. Monsters of the deep. For decades, stories have claimed that giant sea monsters live in the Mariana Trench. Movies have shown enormous sharks, massive squid, and mysterious creatures larger than buildings. But what does science actually say? The truth is fascinating. The deepest parts of the ocean don't have enough food to support gigantic predators like those seen in movies. Instead, life here has evolved to survive with very little energy. Scientists have discovered strange fish with transparent skin, sea cucumbers that slowly crawl across the seabed, amphipods, tiny shrimp-like animals that thrive under crushing pressure, delicate sea stars, and microscopic organisms capable of surviving conditions that would instantly kill most life on Earth. The real creatures of the Mariana Trench may not be movie monsters, but they are far more extraordinary because they actually exist. The pressure that can crush steel. As the submersible continues its descent, the pressure becomes almost impossible to imagine. At the deepest point of the Mariana Trench, the pressure exceeds 1,000 times the air pressure at sea level. Imagine placing the weight of dozens of fully loaded passenger airplanes onto a single human body. No diver could ever survive here. Even most submarines would collapse instantly. That's why deep-sea submersibles are built using incredibly thick materials, such as titanium, and specially designed pressure-resistant spheres. Every dive is a remarkable engineering achievement. One tiny mistake, one small crack, could end the entire mission in seconds. The ocean floor hours after leaving the surface, the submersible finally reaches the bottom. The pilot gently lands on soft sediment that has been collecting for thousands of years. Outside the window, there are no colorful coral reefs, no seaweed, no schools of tropical fish. Instead, the seafloor looks almost like a silent desert. Fine gray sediment covers the landscape. Occasionally, strange creatures slowly move across the bottom. Sea cucumbers feed on tiny organic particles. Small crustaceans search for anything edible. Everything moves slowly. Energy is precious here. Nothing is wasted. This quiet world has remained almost unchanged for millions of years. Food from the sky? One question has puzzled scientists for decades. If there is no sunlight, no plants, and no photosynthesis, how do these animals survive? The answer comes from above. Every day, tiny particles of dead plankton, algae, fish waste, and microscopic organisms slowly drift downward from the upper ocean. Scientists call this marine snow. Although each particle is incredibly small, together they provide enough food for many deep-sea creatures. Sometimes, something much larger sinks. The body of a whale, known as a whale fall, it becomes a feast that can support entire communities of deep-sea animals for years. In the deepest ocean, even a single whale can become the center of an entire ecosystem. Volcanoes, hidden beneath the sea. Just when it seems the Mariana Trench couldn't become any more surprising, scientists discovered something extraordinary. Deep beneath the ocean floor are underwater volcanoes and hydrothermal vents. These vents release mineral-rich water heated by Earth's interior. Although the surrounding water is only a few degrees above freezing, the water erupting from the vents can reach temperatures of over 300 degrees Celsius. Instead of relying on sunlight, bacteria here produce energy using chemicals released from the Earth itself. This process supports worms, crabs, clams, shrimp, and many other species found nowhere else on the planet. It's one of the most remarkable examples of life adapting to impossible conditions, and it has completely changed our understanding of where life can exist. The deeper scientists explore, the more questions they discover. What other species remain hidden in the darkness? Could there still be thousands waiting to be found? And perhaps the biggest mystery of all, why have humans explored so little of the largest habitat on Earth? Humanity's greatest underwater mystery. For centuries, the deepest parts of the ocean existed only in human imagination. Sailors told stories of giant monsters. Ancient maps marked the unknown waters with terrifying sea creatures. No one knew what was really hiding thousands of meters beneath the surface. Then, in 1960, history was made. Swiss engineer, ours and U.S. Navy Lieutenant Wirsch became the first humans to reach Challenger Deep. Their submersible Trieste slowly descended into the darkness for nearly 5 hours. As they reached the bottom, a cloud of sediment surrounded the vessel, reducing visibility to almost nothing. They remained there for only a short time before beginning the long journey back to the surface. Even with the limited technology of the 1960s, they proved something extraordinary. Humans could reach the deepest place on Earth more than 50 years later. For decades, no one returned. The journey was simply too dangerous and too expensive. Then, in 2012, filmmaker and explorer Serpre made history by becoming the first person to complete a solo dive to Challenger Deep. Inside a specially designed submersible, he spent hours descending into complete darkness. He described the bottom as lonely, silent, almost like standing on another planet. His expedition captured valuable scientific data and stunning images that inspired a new generation of ocean exploration. The discovery nobody wanted scientists expected to find strange creatures, rare species, and untouched ecosystems. Instead, they also found something else: human pollution, plastic bags, tiny plastic fibers, and microscopic pieces of plastic known as microplastics. Even at nearly 11 kilometers below the surface, there was evidence of human activity. It was a shocking reminder that no place on Earth is truly untouched. The deepest ocean had become connected to the choices people make every single day. New species are still being found. One of the most exciting things about the Mariana Trench is that scientists continue to discover new life. Some creatures have bodies so soft they would collapse near the surface. Others have adapted to pressure so extreme that they cannot survive in shallow water. Researchers have found unusual snailfish, amphipods, sea cucumbers, and countless microscopic organisms specially adapted to this environment. Every expedition brings back samples that may contain species never before seen by science. This means that even today, the Mariana Trench remains one of Earth's least explored ecosystems. There may still be hundreds or even thousands of species waiting to be discovered. What can the Mariana Trench teach us? Studying the deepest ocean isn't just about curiosity. It could help answer one of humanity's greatest questions. Are we alone in the universe? Scientists believe that some distant moons, such as Europa and Enceladus, may have vast oceans hidden beneath thick layers of ice. Those oceans receive no sunlight, just like the Mariana Trench. Yet if life can survive here using chemical energy instead of sunlight, perhaps life could survive there as well. In a way, every dive into the Mariana Trench is also a search for clues about life beyond Earth. How much have we explored? Here's a surprising fact. Scientists estimate that most of the world's ocean remains unexplored. Modern satellites have mapped the moon in remarkable detail. Mars has been explored by robotic rovers. Space telescopes have observed distant galaxies billions of light years away. Yet the deepest parts of our own planet remain largely unknown. The greatest frontier may not be above us. It may be beneath our feet. The final descent, imagine being alone at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. No sunlight, no sound, except the quiet hum of your submersible. Above you is nearly 11 kilometers of water. Around you is a world that almost no human has ever witnessed. Every grain of sediment, every strange creature, every movement in the darkness reminds you how little we truly know about our own planet. The Mariana Trench isn't just the deepest place in the ocean. It is a symbol of exploration, a reminder that even in the age of satellites, artificial intelligence, and space travel, Earth still holds mysteries waiting to be discovered. Perhaps the next great scientific breakthrough won't come from another planet. Perhaps it will come from the darkest place on our own. So the next time you look at the ocean, remember this. Beneath those peaceful waves lies a world deeper than mountains are tall, darker than the longest night, and filled with secrets that humanity is only beginning to uncover. And maybe the greatest discovery is still waiting in the darkness. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves exploring the mysteries of our world, because our journey has only just begun.